Okay, take away the greenskins.
Yeah, sure. What do we have here? The moment they get placed out. All right. For the cavalry, we get some big goons. We see big goons, boar riders, very useful against Britonia. Some skirmishers, 2 units of skirmisher, the raw ones, some of the best skirmishers in the game. Some spider, yeah, some forest spiders. And for the infantry itself, we got 3 units of black orcs. Now that's heavy, and some goblin to play the fodder game. And as the leadership of this army, we got the Wurzag, the great green prophet himself, and a goblin great boss to watch him. Oh, I forgot the loons.
8-peak loonies, yeah.
Yeah,
Sneaky unit.
yeah, those are basically in every build of the Greenskin.
Yeah, still an auto pick, I would say. So, yeah, this army has Wurzag, which makes me a little worried because last week we had, I think, 2 or 3 games where Wurzag just died so very quickly. Let's see if that happens again. So Evenstar, he has questing knights. One, actually, I think one on each flank. Let me see. The icons are the same. Yeah, there's 2 questing knights, 4 knights of the realm. 5 peasant mobs deployed in blocks, which makes them hold a little bit longer. Peasant bowmen with box arrows and regular peasant bowmen. 1 unit of spearmen at arms. A paladin. What is this mount? He's on a horse. That makes the most sense. And the Fey Enchantress with Awakening of the Wood, Earthblood, Chalice of Potions. I think that's everything. Oh no, there's 1 more paladin.
For the most part, a pretty standard Bretonian army. The main exception is the Griffon Rider.
Oh yeah, which I totally didn't point out. Yeah, of course, a great terror option for when you're picking the Fey Enchantress. You don't want to bring the Green
Wurzag
Knight.
is gonna be in big trouble here between 2 paladins and the Griffon.
Yeah, true. At least he has a lot of cavalry, and the paladins are not the best at pushing through units. So if he sticks near his Black Orcs, he should be fine, I think.
Yeah, the Black Orcs will have to massacre most of the cavalry and the infantry here.
The Enchantress goes into the goblins. All by herself, has to be careful. There could be an effigy here in just a second. Is he going for it? Oh, he's trying to bait it, I think, but she's slipping away. That was risky, but it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, I guess he is gonna keep it for the paladins or the flying riders.
The goblins charge in, the questing knights with the counter charge, getting good damage on them. The boars charge again. It seems the questing knights are once again pulling out quickly enough, and the fire support comes in as well on that greenskin cavalry. That's a chalice of potions.
Oh, yeah. It seems he noticed.
Yeah, he's pulling away from it, but it's just hitting the goblins pretty much. And
yeah, it's kind of
a
expensive way to kill some goblins.
Yeah, that's the least you can say. Oh, that... What was that? That was
Meanwhile, the archers are gonna get
headbutt
destroyed.
Yeah, by the headbutt. One of them just got routed. It was a beautiful cast. I think the formation they were in kind of contributed to that. Big fight is happening in the middle.
Yeah, the other knights are charging the Black Orcs. They are not gonna deal much damage to those big armored guys. Fey Enchanters will slowly but inevitably warn out the enemies with the aura.
And some units are getting terrified. The Wa does come in though. Look at the Bretonian backline. 3 archers have already been taken back on fire.
Will soon be put out of the question by the slithering death.
Yep. Death Reapers coming in. Take out the last of those archers, and the Greenskins doing a pretty good job thanks to the Black Orcs holding against this cavalry, which hasn't really been able to cycle charge very well.
Black Orcs gonna get charged in behind. Oh, that's awesome. 3 damage.
Yeah.
The archers are out, but still it looks like Bretonia is win. Actually, no.
I think they have to rely on cycle charging a bit,
Yeah,
especially
the
against
knight.
this many Black Orcs, and they kind of just committed to a melee fight, which, well, the Greenskins in a grind, especially with Black Orcs,
The Black
fighting
Orcs,
quite
yeah,
heavily.
that's their favorite aspect, the big grindy fight.
Look how many boars are still active. Like, most of the time, it's kind of difficult to take those boars, because even though they're very good, Bretonnian cavalry kind of crumps them most of the time. But yeah, they've gotten the best of most engagements by sticking close to infantry support.
For the moment, it looks like the Greenskin have the advantage, but a slight one. Bretonia can easily recover.
Yeah, but they're losing a paladin almost for free here. Effigy of the Git. They need stabbing, and Wurzag and Big Boss are just trashing that paladin, and that's a tough loss. Jonia.
Bretonian archers can come online and start to pepper some Black Orcs.
Yep, there's not that many of them left. Actually, it's not that bad, despite the health being very low, but model-wise, there's still a decent amount of them.
Oh, another headbutt, that's gonna hurt. And that's
Yeah.
that's all for the archers. Anyway, goodbye.
Yeah, I wonder why Evenstar deployed his archers in these box formations. It made them so much more susceptible to those headbutts.
The Royal Hippogriffs are in a bad spot. The Black Orcs are slowly cutting them down.
The combination of Black Orcs and Boars is just deadly.
Bretonian infantry is mostly gone.
Yep. The other paladin is now getting smashed.
Once.
Big Boss get killed? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, the other archers have suffered a brain explosion. The Fae is surrounded. She will rout with the rest of the army soon, I think.
Yeah, the Knights are trying to come back in. There's probably still some healing, some potential for the Fae to drain units, but yeah, this looks like too much green on the field.
If she gets stuck in there, it's over for Bretonia. Wurzag gets in for the kill. The healing. Let's see if that turns the tide.
See Wurzag do so much damage this battle against the Paladin, against the Fae, and he's still on full health himself. He's back with a vengeance after just getting crumped in every battle last week.
Let's see if the Comet does the trick.
Nope,
Oh,
it's not even
no.
going to finish.
Oh, the second Comet.
And randomly saying, I know people love questing knights, but I don't really think there's a big place for them against greenskins. I think it's mostly against Arachnaroks, if there are any. Against Black Orcs. Maybe against Stone Trolls, but the thing is, it's okay if you charge them. It's not so good if you stay into combat with them, but Zuma did such a good job with his poison units and his boars to make it so that Bretonia couldn't just freely cycle charge everything.
I didn't follow, a good way the Royal Hippogriff, but I think they couldn't really deliver back their prize, did they?
Not really. Satsuma was always on them pretty quickly. Denying them the, cycle charging ability, and also, yeah, just not that many units that were exposed and could be taken out with a terror out very easily. Very good army movement from Satsuma. I think taking out the backline with those spells and his mobile units was massive.
The kills for Wurzag. He did over 100 kills alone.
Yeah, that's the most brutal Wurzag I ever saw. He slew a paladin. He kind of slew the other paladin. He slew the Fae. Killed all the archers. He's taking some, yeah. He's taking some good mushrooms.
Now I hope he's gonna dance in the green fields.
I'm surprised Wurzag was untouched the whole fight, says Aaron Foxy. Yeah.
Yeah, the paladins were the one on the run instead.
It was very well supported, that fight.
Now we gotta wait for the next big one.
Satsuma thinking about which two factions to select. Skaven will probably be one of them. Maybe he'll go Skaven Tomb Kings. That
Oh,
should
let
be a
me
pretty
check
strong counter.
what's the next map.
The next map will be River Amexon. And if we get to a third map, we'll also see Troll Country.
Now, River Amazon is a decent map for artillery, so the Skaven are definitely a reasonable pick there. High Elves and Skaven. Seems like you called it.
Oh, High Elves and Skaven. Yeah, I said Tomb Kings and Skaven, but High Elves Skaven is a good combo as well. So, what will Evenstar answer with? It's a map with some interesting terrain that might play into the choice.
Those woods on the left side are always useful, both for the attacker and the defender.
And I was gonna say, you know, he put Dark Elves in his pick before, and now it would make sense against High Elves and Skaven to go for Dark Elves, and that is what he's doing.
Yeah, the Dark Elves are a decent pick in both matches, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and by the way, these guys are actually reunited from the group phase. They were in one of the groups together, which was, or if I recall, it was Group C, where they were with Ulrich Rahl, Swarf, but they didn't actually play against each other, because Evenstar lost to Ulrich Rahl, Satsuma won against Swarf, and so Satsuma faced Ulrich Rahl in the winner's match, and Evenstar ended up qualifying through the decider match by beating Ulrich in their rematch. But now, they're fighting for survival and a spot in Elimination Round 3. Phil Elf, thank you for the follow. So, as a Skaven player, how do you feel about this matchup?
The Dark Elves one can be pretty brutal, since the Dark Elves have the choice. Let's say that their average infantry will easily destroy yours. It's all about either the firepower, well, you have to kill the dangerous target, or you can, as we can see now, overinvest in big scary monster to fend off all the dragons and the big heroes that the Dark Elves can bring. The ranged units of the Dark Elves are not that useful here, since most Skaven don't have armor, so the armor piercing is wasted.
Yeah.
But still, in the hero department, the Dark Elves really don't lack anything to deal with the Skaven. It's all about dealing with the Help It. Now, that can be actually difficult.
Yes, Dark Elves, of course, a faction that can bring Harpies, Manticore summons.
Yeah, they can really easily get on the back line.
Yeah.
Thank the Horned Rat. You have the Lord of Ruin for those pesky flying units. But when there is like 4 of them, it's a bit hard to stop it.
True.
The problem that I see in the roster difference is that the dedicated monster killers of the Dark Elves, the Cardibris, can't really hold a candle against the Hellpit Abomination.
No, and it's likely to get shot as well, right?
Yeah, it's both gonna get shot and outspeeded by the Hellpit. The Cardibris is just too slow to deal with the fast Rat Ogres and the slightly faster Hellpit, which is a shame. I like the units. It's ugly in a beautiful way.
It really is. Hi there, Astelan. Yeah, the terrain here. Do you think the Skaven can use it to their advantage?
If they are going for a ranged build, which is actually just the artillery, artillery, they can really use their main advantage here because it's a open flat terrain for the most part, and if the Dark Elves try an approach from the rocky side, they're gonna get blocked easily since it's a long trip and it's easy to just put a roadblock like the slaves around. The forest on the left side, instead, it's a playmaker here. A good use of the forest can make all the difference in placing the initial units and the focused fire of the ranged ones.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about this map and why I think we see it in so many different tournament map pools, because the terrain can favor both attacker and defender in a way. Like, use those little rock formations to block off a flank, but at the same time, if you're committing to a defensive position there, you might get shot from the high ground if the enemy manages to claim it, or they, as you say, can approach through that forest.
Yeah, there is a decent spot for the units that deploy elsewhere in the map. Dogs and other kind of fast units can just be put in the big forests on the sides, which are quite far away, but in the middle of the battle it's easy to miss a unit of dogs is running from the edges.
Right, Satsuma is ready. Evenstar still making some final adjustments to his build, I suppose. Let's see. There's Satsuma. Oh, we forgot to confirm his faction. Okay. Yeah, Evenstar was waiting for him to confirm his faction. We all just thought, okay, it's Skaven. I thought he said it. Pay closer attention to the chat. Now on. Yeah, players today might take a little bit more time in the lobbies. I do ask them to set up the lobbies before their series starts, when the game that's scheduled before them is approaching its potentially final game, so that we can just go from game to game.
Yeah.
But I can understand them taking a little bit longer picking their armies now, because this is the elimination round. There's no way back from here.
From here. Yeah, that's exactly.
Of course, players have a long way to go starting from the elimination rounds. I talked about it before. Like, if you start from elimination round 1, you have to win 4 series to make it into the grand final, and you still have to win the grand final. But I think, well, actually, I don't think you've been in that situation before, Alphaknight, but how do you think you should deal with that? If you're starting in elimination round 1 and you know, like, you have to play against Chosen One, and then Evenstar, and then either Random Nix, Anticity, and Prussian Prince, and then Falcon.
Well, technically, I found myself facing, at least on the ladder, some of them. In the tournament, I can't remember exactly, but when I see a big name, I usually just say my prayer and say, let's get over with this. It's a bit self-defeating to admit, but it's just such big names, you know. People that you could say almost do it for a living.
How many manticores are allowed in Vikings rules, including summons? You can have 2 manticores, and you can also bring the summon besides that, because it's the same as other summons, right? Like, if you have a bunch of clan rats, you're not stopped from bringing the clan rat summon. You have a bunch of zombies, you're not stopped from bringing the zombie summon. I think that makes the most sense that way.
Yeah.
Manticore problem is more of a manticore summon balance issue.
All in general, all summons.
Yeah.
It's on K and it's on Creative Assembly to fix or to change the summons. At the moment, the rules can't really do much about it unless you want to see all summons banned.
Vivalas Michael, thank you for the follow. And here we go. Getting into second match. Evenstar on his last life. Satsuma with match points, but he has a tough battle ahead. Definitely don't count Evenstar out.
I'm really curious about what the Dark Elves are gonna bring.
I assume some rush with mage with fireballs and burning heads.
Oh yes,
no.
fire.
And, like potentially double caster even. Just the manticores and then another lore.
Fire lore is always a good choice against Skaven. You can snipe artillery, you can snipe weapons team, you can snipe the Lord, and not to forget that Hellpit Abomination is weak to fire thanks to regeneration.
That as well, and if you have Burning Head, you can really punish those blobs, which Skaven like to get into after they've killed your ranged, if it gets to that point.
It's just the best lore overall. It's just the best lore overall against the Skaven, the fire one.
Yeah. Dark Rider, repeater crossbows. We might actually see them. We didn't mention them. Anyway, let's look at Skaven army first. You can go over this gigantic mess of units, Alphaknight.
Whoa, that's another big number of fury. Anyway, what do we have here? Let's start from the infantry. We can see a core that's mostly made up of slaves, spear slaves, and some clan rats, other spears. The council guard, as we mentioned, always reliable, always strong. For the monster side, we got not one but two Hellpit Abomination. Now that's gonna be a big deal for the Dark Elves to deal. On the shooting range, no weapons team, no Jitsails. Instead, we got two pieces of artillery. The not really appreciated Plague Claw catapult, and the most egregious, the Ikit Claw Zap. Always good against dirty, pointy ears. And on the hero slot, we got two assassins to protect the Lord of Scroll himself. The 3 times winner this far, right?
Yeah.
And that's it for the Skaven faction. Oh, I forgot the slingers, slave ones.
Skaven have been on a roll today. So
Scroll
far.
himself has been on the roll.
Exactly. Skaven fans in the chat definitely getting their fix. Before the Dark Elves, it's actually a 3 Reaper Bolt Thrower build, looking to actually challenge the Skaven and make them abandon their defensive position. Just to have the cheap Bleak Sword frontline. I believe there's 4 of them, and then 4 spears behind that. Sorcerers of Fire, as we mentioned earlier, it's always likely to see that. She has Cascading Firecloak, Fireball, and Burning Head. We'll have to be careful though, because she is on foot, could prove an easy target, just like that Vampire Fleet Captain earlier. Dark Riders in the forest, 1 on each side, and actually some Old One Knights as well. Now, for the Lord, where is the Lord? Don't tell me this is... oh yeah. It's the High Beastmaster. I thought for a second it was Malice or something. It's the High Beastmaster with the Tormentor Sword. On a Scourge Hunter Chariot. That's a very cool build. And he has some Black Ark Corsairs with handbows with him. Oh yeah, and last but not least, I keep forgetting the flying units, don't I? There's the Raven Heralds, the Flying Dark Rider crossbow.
Now, overall, a very peculiar pick for the Dark Edge.
Yeah, let's see how it works out. Clearly, like, it is a bit of a strange army, but there must be some kind of plan behind it. It doesn't look like, you know, he just picked some random stuff, especially from the way he deployed it.
The spellcaster here is dodging the artillery fire.
She wants to get in range to cast a fireball, but she can't.
Oh, here
she goes.
Yeah, she dodged the Ikit Claw Zap, so she's not muted, silenced. And, oh, the Plague Claw survived for now.
Yeah, that's a surprise. Usually Skaven artillery is very squishy. But look,
yeah, one over
Skaven,
40.
the assassins are coming and she can't see them because of the Sealman bombs. Evenstar. You're losing your caster.
Damn. That's gonna...
It's trying to run. She casts Cascading Firecloak on herself. That's smart. Gives her a little bit more melee defense, but Doesn't help, she's actually
On the run.
routed.
The assassin missed
Potentially
some
dead.
shots even there. But, oh. Another shot from the zap zap of Ikit, and she is dead meat.
That's pretty huge, because Evenstar is no reserve caster. But one of the assassins might go down in response.
If the Skaven reposition their weapons, those Dark Knights are gonna end pretty quickly.
Yeah, the assassin...
Yeah, ooh, that,
big shot on the
that was
Beastmaster.
ugly.
Right now it's not looking good for Evenstar's leadership, just taking way too much damage.
Another shot, dodged this time.
Oh, nice micro there.
Do not forget the sneaky knights on the side.
Yeah. But Satsuma is keeping enough units back to protect his artillery. Seems to anticipate that some sneaky Dark Riders might show up. This assassin, so far the MVP. Dodging shots, killing caster. She has rallied though.
Yeah, the magic's back. Still, it's gonna have to stay in the back lines for the entire match now.
Has to be very careful with her. And the Dark Riders are engaging.
The ballistas
managed to
are
get through
shooting on the abominations. It's gonna whittle them down slowly, but it will. The problem is, will the high Beastmaster hold faster than the Helpits?
Oh, that high Beastmaster. It's so low. I believe there's still a Liber Babonicus because
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. I don't even think if that was legit damage. The
he's
high
shattered.
Beastmaster. Yeah, I think it was the chariots thing that they suffer more damage. I mean, it was insane.
That is possible. I think he's gonna die, and he's dead.
Yeah, that's it.
Once again, we cheer for a rare unit being brought, but then we kind of see why it's not such a common pick.
That's a sad part, when you have to admit that those units are not picked for a reason.
Was it going to hit the tree? Would have
The
just
Dark
been even
Knights
worse.
on the right side did a almost decent job. I mean, they almost destroyed the plague claw. Problem is almost.
Yeah, they still have 20 guys left. That's enough to keep firing those plague claw catapults. And now one bolt thrower is being taken offline, so it doesn't even look like the Dark Elves are going to win this artillery fight at this stage.
They lost the Lord, and they lost the Knights, and they're gonna soon lose the bolt thrower.
Rider Maker, the co-caster is Alphaknight. He's been doing a phenomenal job so far.
Thank you, Viking, you're too kind.
Welcome. As Dark Elves, you lost your Lord, your Sorceress is very low. It doesn't look like you're winning the artillery fight. What do you do?
I usually just charge head on at that point. When you're under pressure and you can't win the ranged fight, you just commit to the melee and hope for the best.
Looks like that's what he's doing. He is moving forward. He still has 2 Cold One Knights in the back. So far, they haven't done anything yet. Maybe they will be the X Factor. Taking out these Hellpits and other units. We'll see.
If the bolt throwers get taken out, there's no way for the Hellpit Abomination to be destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, Hellpits don't perform too great against infantry though, but I don't know if, you know, he will have enough infantry left after dealing with the Skaven infantry.
It's not exactly quality, but...
No. I think what Evenstar needs to...
And the mage is gone.
Oh, did she just die? Oh no, I was about to say like he needs a big burning head, but Satsuma
She
just...
took a zap to the face, terminal case, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think she's about to die from this volley. Oh no, that missed. She may rally one more time. 242 hit points.
Missed.
Now the tree's protecting her quite well.
Skrolk is doing what is best, killing everyone with his stench.
They have no leadership.
No,
Lord
without
is
the Lord and the hero, it's a big debuff.
Now the dark.
Ooh, shot from the side on the the zap zap.
Dark Elves are pulling back because they actually have ranged advantage now. Skaven are almost out of ammo, at least on their artillery.
Even that goes for the Dark Elves too.
That is true.
I'm not sure what's the plan here for the Dark Elves. Regrouping in the forest? Trying to drag the Elpit Abomination in the forest?
I have no idea. It seems right now he's falling back to his artillery. He has one unit that can still do a lot of damage. It's the Raven Heralds, but he has to be very careful. These Skaven Slaves and other slingers. Oh, it's just the Skaven Slave slingers. I think he may hope for his sorcerers to come back.
One could think that he's trying to divide the Skaven forces. The problem is that there's not really a backline anymore for the Skaven.
Nope. Yeah, at this point, there's no reason for them to get split up. Stay in the blob, and the assassin, double helpit, scroll blob, which is sure to form at some point, may prove almost unkillable for this army.
Yeah, without elite infantry, they can't really damage those 3 guys. And even with elite infantry, it still wouldn't be enough because of Skrolg, Aura of Stench.
Yep. He does have
the only 2 playmakers left for Dark Elves at this point are the cavalry and the flying archers.
Yeah,
which are doing a decent job at
yeah, they're very good against single entities, and they may kill Skrolg. If they kill Skrolg, I think there's a good chance once again, because, you know, Skaven leadership.
Yeah, it's all about the charging with the knights if Skrolg gets out.
They're killing Skrolg so far. Maybe it's time to use this Liber and these Raven Heralds, and just as I say that, he does it. And it's going to kill quite a few of them. Look at the health dropping.
You can see them
16,
drop.
15, 14. Another
I'm not
one?
sure why the Skaven Slaves were not peppering them with stones.
Yeah, Skrolg maybe... Man, just one cast of that Liber is nearly going to rout the Raven Heralds.
Well, that's just the proof why Skrolg is the utmost lord of the Skaven.
Yeah, I agree. He's a little bit more squishy, well, quite a bit more squishy than the Bells here, but his potential for doing stuff is much higher, I would say.
Yeah, that's entirely the Liber Bubonicus.
Yeah, killed the Lord, killed the Raven Heralds with a single cast, or at least routed them. I think that removed the last unit Evenstar had that could make a big play, which would be killing Skrolg and maybe making a comeback from there. Now the Raven Heralds are routing, and I don't think they're going to be back on time to do anything.
Murder Prowess is activated. But this time, I'm afraid Kane will be disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, they're killing plenty of rats, but there's still 1,400 of them on the field. That's more than most armies in this game field. And we're 10 minutes in. Raven Heralds are having another go at it. Of course, they have fewer models now, so the damage is not as impressive. Evenstar is really doing what he can.
He's trying to regroup his troops, but it's kind of a desperate struggle here.
I think he found some good targets in the back, but in the end, it's just slaves you're killing. That's not really what you need to do to come back.
Stuff.
Actually, Plague Monks, fresh Plague Monks at this point, hurts so much. These Red Spears want nothing to do with that. Zap Cannon is getting killed, but at this point it's done its job, so doesn't really matter. Look, the crew of the Zap Cannon is chasing Old One Knights. It's not something you see every day.
I'm gonna scratch some butts right there.
Okay, Third time lucky, Raven Heralds are going for Skrolk again, but Tsuma is doing such a good job protecting with Skaven Slave Slingers. Skrolk takes a volley. I think the Raven Heralds are about to rout again.
That might be the final one.
I think army losses are very close to cutting in. One Bolt Thrower is back online. Might be aiming for Skrolk,
Miss.
but misses.
The slaves will make short order of that one single bolt.
Yeah, it's already wavering. Might even break the artillery piece with their little pebbles. Yeah, I think it broke. And then
Got
the unit
stoned.
broke. Orc elves are gathering for the final huzzah. Hurrah. There's so many Skaven. Even more summons. That's really the most tilting thing, I think, against
The
Skaven.
Skaven. Yeah, that's the big problem with summons in general, but for the cost and the Skavens are just the major offenders.